That was exactly what a beautiful game is supposed to look like. Now, we've talked about consistency. So really, we saw a good game today. But what happens tomorrow night? That's like the big question now. We saw a great game. What's next? Now, we did hear John Gibbons saying before the game of, this team is way too good to be losing these many games the way they are. And we all know that. But we're seeing it. And it's scary. But Gibbons came out with that, and the Blue Jays came away with a 4-0 win over the Baltimore Orioles. Now, they didn't score 5 runs, which I would have preferred, to get over that hump at least a little bit. But with the dominant starting pitching from Marcus Stroman, the 4 runs the Jays put up was more than enough. That last, let's read his pitching line because it is nasty. 7 2/3 innings, 5 hits, no runs, walked 1 guy, and struck out 8 batters. Marcus Stroman was dynamite in this game, locating his pitches beautifully. And I think it was Seth Smith who got the hit that eventually pulled Stroman out of the game. And I totally understand that he was almost at 120 pitches. Yeah, okay, I get it. Before that hit, if I'm not mistaken, they did not have a hit since the 3rd inning. That is called straight dominance, especially against a very good hitting ball club in the Baltimore Orioles. Marcus Stroman made it look easy. I mean, obviously it's not, but he made it look easy. And the Jays only had 7 hits themselves, but they made them count. 2 were home runs off the bat of Justin Smoak and Jose Bautista. Justin Smoak now has a career high in home runs with 21 home runs. And we're not even in July yet. This guy is having an unbelievable season. That's why we should all vote for Justin Smoak. If you haven't already, do it. I think it's midnight tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, that the polls close. And Justin Smoak at the last time they did all the tallies and everything was about 70,000 behind Eric Hosmer. Blue Jays Nation, Canada, let's get this guy as a starter because, man, when you're hitting over 300 plus 20 home runs, almost 50 RBIs, this guy is having a ridiculously good season. He deserves it. Let's get him to it. And by the way, Marcus Stroman, tons of career highs in this one. Marcus Stroman with 119 pitches, that is his career high in pitches. And the last time a Blue Jays pitcher threw that many pitches, David Price in August of 2015. That feels like ages ago now. But it's the way she goes. Now, something I wanted to mention in yesterday's video before we talk a little bit more about today's game was the designated for assignment move to Jason Grilli. Now, did we see it coming? Yeah. I mean, he hasn't been very good. His ERA was almost 7 throughout the whole season. It wasn't all that great. And, it was just a waste of a roster spot because you really weren't going to use him. And he took it the best way he could. He wrote something in the locker room, keep on fighting, or stay and fight, or stay with the fight, or something along those lines. And then he posts 2 pictures on Twitter and Instagram. I mean, it's straight class. That is a veteran move, 40 years old. I mean, unless the Jays decide to put him on waivers and maybe find a way to get him to Buffalo. But other than that, I think his tenure as a Blue Jay is done. And it's tough because of all the energy he brought to the team last season and all the craziness, all the big 8th inning strikeouts to, keep us close or to keep the 1-run lead. The moments we had with Jason Grilli wasn't a lot, time-wise, but we remember Jason Grilli's moments of being absolutely fired up almost all the time, and it was great. But, it was going to happen eventually. So with that move, they called up that Chris Smith guy, and he obviously pitched in the 9th inning yesterday. We also hear that Michael Saunders, Captain Canada, if you remember that, from last year, obviously really good first half, got into the All-Star game, was abysmal in the second half, goes to Philly, has a really bad bit. I think he hit only 205 with Philly. He got released or DFA'd, something like that, and the Jays signed him to a minor league deal, so he will report to the Buffalo Bisons AAA affiliate, or the Jays affiliate, the Jays AAA affiliate, the Buffalo Bisons. There we go. And, it's never too bad. It's never enough you can never have too much depth in the outfield, especially that left field position the Blue Jays have had this year. It's been a little bit of everything going on out there. But speaking of left field, Steve Pearce gets the start in this one. The guy goes 3 for 3. Do we remember this guy having a really, really bad first bit of the season, then gets hurt, and we're like, this he's done. Well, he now has his average up to 275, obviously in limited sample size, but he's hitting 275. That ain't shabby whatsoever. What else do we see today? We obviously the home runs were the main things, and big thing, how did the Blue Jays get those extra 2 runs? They ran. Bautista with the bases loaded 2 out hits a hot shot to short. What does Darwin Barney do? He absolutely books it to second. Bautista booking it down the line. And what happens? The late throw to second, can't get him. Throw it to first, it's off, but late, we score 2 runs on the play. If you're not running, they take their time, and they either get the out at second or get the out at first, and the inning's over, and you're only up 2-0 at that time. That is why you run. What we saw today from pitching to hitting was competitiveness. Good at-bats. Now, were there some at-bats I'm like, that was rough? Yes, but you can't go a full game without having a bad at-bat. It's not going to happen. Yesterday was just a lot of them. But today, you saw a lot of grinded out at-bats. I saw Darwin Barney take an 8-9 pitch at-bat for a walk. Great job. We saw Morales walk as well. We saw him get into good counts as well. I think he had a couple singles, or he had at least one. He was 1 for 3 and he walked once. That's fine by me. We just saw some good ABs in this one, and I'm happy that we saw that. Now, they were not getting results, obviously, but there were a lot of hard hit balls right at guys again. But when you're hitting the ball real hard, like Smokin' Bautista did, getting the 2 runs, you don't have to worry about people catching it because that was deep and gone. So, nothing but great things today. You get some clutch hits, you get a couple of home runs to give you the lead. And the big thing, the big story of this game, Marcus Stroman going 7 2/3 of shutout ball. He was outstanding. Danny Barnes comes in, gives a 4-pitch walk, but then doesn't have a problem and gets Jonathan Scope to strike out. And then Roberto Osuna comes out in the ninth, 4-run lead. It's not a safe situation, but again, it's to give him work and make him feel comfortable. No problem at all. Strikes out the side to end the ball game, dropping his ERA to 2.32. And it's just, and seeing him put on a smile and seeing him happy is just great. We love the youngster. We love 22-year-old Roberto Osuna. He's going through a tough stretch right now. We're all there to support him. It's fantastic. It's fantastic to see him come out and pitch the way he did as well. Marcus Stroman now with his 8th win of the season as well. Nothing but great things. Now, we're talking all positive about this game, and that's all there is to talk about because it was a great game to watch. Now, what will happen tomorrow night? I said that at the top of the video. I'm saying it at the end. You look at the pitching matchup. J.A Happ been pitching very, very well as of late. Dropped his ERA. I think it was like 5-something when he came off the DL. It's now 3.83. He's doing great. I think he was 0-3 or 0-4 when he went on the DL. He's now 2-4. He already has those 2 wins since coming off the DL. Against Ubaldo Jimenez. ERA of 7.26. There's no question about it. The Jays have every opportunity to rip this guy a new one. In his last start against Tampa, he went 2 1/3, gave up 7 hits, 9 runs. He walked 4 guys and struck out 1. With an ERA of almost 7.3, this is the game the Jays should win the series, and be 2 games under 500 and go into that Boston series this weekend feeling good and ready to go. All right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video and you enjoyed this game, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys think of the game, Estrada's outing, Steve Pearce, the game overall. Let me know what you guys thought. And also the clean defense we saw today. We haven't been saying it a lot, But as of late, of the last couple games, we've been seeing some pretty good defense. No errors in this one, and no errors in yesterday's game. That's great. Let's see it again tomorrow. All right? So we'll talk to you guys tomorrow night as we look to win the series. Win 2 in a row. Talk to you guys then.